Aoife Helen Kelly. When I found out about my diagnosis, well, of course I had mixed feelings. I don't think anybody really wants to receive that diagnosis. It was a shock. I felt perfectly healthy. I felt that life was going very well. I was going to the gym every day. So, of course, there were some moments of fear and of sadness, and you don't know what's coming. But at the same time, my mom had had cancer for a long time, and she had outlived her diagnosis by about 14 years. So I knew that there was a lot you could do. And I knew that in integrative oncology, they could offer different treatment programs, and that it didn't have to be that course of suffering necessarily, that we have this kind of stereotype in our heads. So when I took a moment to kind of look inside and really ask myself how I was going to do this journey, I began to feel more resourced and more helpful, though it was not always easy. Well, as I said, I had some experience in the integrative oncology field. I didn't know about Onco Rehab. I had worked in Russia. I have a lot of respect for Russian people and Russian medical system. In some ways, it's a lot more free than ours in Europe, because I think you have a little more choice about what you do and what kind of tests you get. But at that time, it was pandemic, and I couldn't return to Russia yet. So I started the best natural program that I could find from Germany. When I returned to Russia, I felt a little lost. I knew that I needed a doctor here to guide me. I went to the local hospital, and it was very hard for me. The pressure that they put on me in this kind of very, in my opinion, old-fashioned mainstream way of thinking, and I understood I had to find someone else here, someone who could understand my views and my approach and offer modern treatments. So I had watched a film called Immunology, and I had contacted a German doctor featured in that film, and she recommended me to supplement the course I was doing with hyperthermia. So I searched hyperthermia in Russia, and I found 2 clinics. I contacted both of them, but it was Onco Rehab who really gave the best answer. They looked at everything I had sent, my files, my tests. The doctor contacted me. He spent a long time on the phone with me because I wasn't close by. And he listened to my concerns and my priorities, and he offered a course of treatment that I felt I couldn't get somewhere else. And I felt very comfortable with him. It was a great relief to find a doctor who I felt I could trust. So after the consultation, I flew here to begin the treatment. My treating doctor is Vitaly Vladimirovich Kushkin. He's a very kind and wise person, and I'm really very grateful to him. I am probably a very difficult patient. I always have a lot of questions. I don't even trust doctors of mine who are related to me to the 100%. But I'm very, very satisfied with Dr. Kushkin. I still ask some questions, but principally I trust him very much. And it's very nice for me that anything I bring for him to read, or any research, or maybe something even that is not from Russia, but something I found abroad, he will always take the time to read it and give me his comments on it. And I find this just a really good quality of a doctor. Well, the first thing is that I agree with the integrative approach here. It seems to me that they take the best of both worlds. I don't know if everyone is on the same course as me. I don't think so. But it just makes sense, because they have an ethos here to protect your healthy cells and to attack only the cancer cells. And also they take into account the psychological impact of things. and even sometimes the financial impact. So I find that the way they look at things is very holistic, and I appreciate that. And of course the therapies that they offer are just fantastic in my opinion. So what I undergo here is local hyperthermia. I have a tumor on my breast, and I also have some under the arms, in the limbs. And I have photodynamic therapy. As I understood from the website, it was also an advantage to do this in Russia. You have some innovations particular to Russia. And then I have a target therapy, trastuzumab. Just the other day I picked up my PET scan, and everything is going very well. Treatments are working, even better than expected. And I think, well, the PET scan I had, of course, at another clinic, and they were quite surprised to have such results when they understood that there was not chemotherapy on my program. So I'm very satisfied. Well, I think that's different for Russian citizens, but I do pay out of pocket, and I guess all of these treatments, whatever you choose, it does add up. All I can say is that I'm aware that there are clinics in Germany or Switzerland with similar programs, but their prices are multiples of what I afford here. I believe that the clinic is moving to Moscow, which I would say is a big advantage, so I'm happy about that, though I may be finished at that point. I think that the clinic is going in the right direction, and it seems to me that they have areas to grow in, and they're concentrating on that. So I'm not sure. I'm the one who should tell them how to improve. Maybe they can offer some more therapies, like the high-dose intravenous therapies, but I think again this depends on regulations of Russian government. I would really like to give my gratitude to all the doctors in the clinic, though I haven't met them all, but I understand that to work in this field and do something which is maybe not considered 100% mainstream, that takes some courage, and I'm just so grateful that this possibility exists, and it wouldn't exist without them. And even if they're not in the majority, I think that they may be the wisest of doctors out there. And I'm especially grateful to the doctor who founded this clinic, because I mean it's actually life-changing. If I would have agreed to some of the treatments that they had offered me at other clinics, it would have been just I don't want to think about it, some of the consequences of that. So really from deep down in my heart, I'm really grateful to these doctors, especially my doctor, Dr. Kushkin, and also for treating me like a human and not just a piece of work or another cancer case. You really feel like a whole person here, and I'm really grateful for that.